There you go. There you go. A
You
little
see
bit,
my
a
green
little,
screen going through?
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit high. There you go.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
You guys are live.
Okay. Oh, we're live, Val.
Hey.
Hey, we're live.
Just getting set up in our last minute.
I know, right? We're just hey everybody, we're live, but we're gonna take a minute or two just to see. Sometimes people come on a few minutes late, and we just want to give it a minute. We're going to talk about how we wore the same color today. That's our color.
Perfect. We couldn't have planned this any better.
We did not plan this. This is how much our brain is connected right now.
You said it, Suze, in one of the email exchanges. You were like, I feel like we're connected somehow.
Really
we think
did.
a lot. We do.
Yeah, this is so cool. I mean, I just was attracted to you from the beginning, as far as like your energy, even before I saw your beautiful face, and it just what you do to help your female entrepreneurial and professional clients. I'm like, dang, she does exactly what I do using a different conduit.
Yeah, that's why this collaboration just is amazing. I love how we're, really addressing this from all aspects, all different viewpoints, because confidence is it's just such an all-encompassing thing for women. And it has so much to do with how we look and how that makes us feel visually, but also, some of the inner work. So I'm excited about this collaboration.
Yeah,
Super
me too. Me too. We have a lot of people signed up. So we're live in Zoom. We're using Restream to also be able to broadcast onto our Facebook pages. And that is going to get us more, exposure to all of you guys who want to participate. And we also had a sign up, which people did some survey questions, and we'll address those too. But
yeah,
I think we can officially start.
Let's get it underway.
It's 12:03, so let's just start. For those who are on time, who are punctual, like I am, I like to be on time. So hello, everybody. We are live in Suze's Style Lab and in the Centered Life, Centered Entrepreneur with Val. And we want to welcome you guys to Package Yourself for Success. Our first webinar, it's an interactive discussion with Val and Suze. And we're going to be talking about how confidence is such a key component in how you feel about your inner and outer presentation of yourself, and the components of why it's so important, and also we're going to get into some deep issues about that, and also provide you with tips and resources on how you can create that for yourself so that you can grow your business and grow achieve your goals by growing in that way.
Yeah, I'm super excited to give a bunch of tools and things that people can women can walk away with today and start using these. So excited.
Yay. So I'm Sue Solari, and I am an expert in helping you guys look and feel your best so that your brand is always on point. So that means aligning your image to your brand, your personal and professional brand, and also maximize your wardrobe investment. And that way, you always know exactly what to wear for every occasion, and you show up big and bold, and you achieve those goals, and you live a joyful life. I'm also the author of 5 books on style now. They're all handbooks. Here's the first one, the T-shirt and jeans handbook. The last one I just launched last month, called the 5-Day Closet Cleanse, which is a resource for organizing, shopping guide, and as well as an outfit creating resource. And that's how Val and I met, actually. I was giving a presentation to the West Suburban Women Entrepreneurial Group, and we talked about all the concepts in the book. And that's how we decided to get together and put this together for you guys. So with that, I am going to then hand it over to Val to tell you guys a little bit about herself and her business. And I did want to say one other thing about one of the reasons why I wanted to partner with Val on once I knew what she did. And it's really a little bit of a story about my journey and how I came to be doing what I'm doing, helping people heal with confidence through their wardrobe, because we have to get dressed every day, especially while working from home. I've had so many people reach out with questions about what to wear on Zoom calls and how to feel confident and feel professional, but yet comfortable without like wearing your pajamas. And on my journey through having my business now, when it was the early part of my career in doing my own business, my kids were little, and I kind of joked a bit that this was a hobby business, giving me an excuse to go shopping because I was a shopaholic. I am confessions of a shopaholic. And I used to say, well, you know, it's an occupational hazard. You know, I've got to buy those things, right? So I can recommend them to my clients. And it was out of control because I was misusing those resources. And also, we went through a family financial crisis about 4 years ago. And that's when it just like, it was really a light bulb moment for me. It's like, I have got to earn more income at this business that I love. So happy and grateful that I get to do something I love, but I've got to make more money. And I wasn't charging enough. And I found that out by hiring several coaches that were, several of these people are still in my life, and they're very similar to Val in the way that they help me really dig deeper into the value issues as to why I was misusing resources and why I wasn't charging enough money. And so fast forward to today, and I still continue to invest myself and work with coaches because I know that I'm worth it. So that's my little story.
Suze, I love that you shared that because it's just so much more powerful when you know that something is a good idea, but also when you've experienced that journey, right? When you've walked through the challenges of what it's like to really struggle in your business. And that, you know, that makes you uniquely equipped to support the women that you work with. Do you know? So I completely align with you in that, you know, my training is as a psychotherapist. So I have a clinical practice, but, you know, my entire career, I've empowered women to prioritize their emotional health. That's at the center of everything I've done as a therapist, but it wasn't really until my own entrepreneurial journey, right? In this moment in my life when I was building a business and I was building my family, that I realized how absolutely central our emotions are to being successful in every aspect of our lives. And of course, that was a message I always sort of preached to my clients, but I didn't learn to walk the walk until I had my own experience of what that's like. And so then from that developed the Centered Entrepreneur, which is really just me helping women, empowering women to prioritize their emotional health as a way to reach their professional and entrepreneurial goals, because we are emotional beings. And as women, we are emotional beings, and that is naturally going to flow into everything that we do. And so really my approach is that if you're struggling in any way in your business, whether that's struggling getting started, struggling building your business, can't reach your goals, it's, you know, the blind spot that you haven't noticed is your emotional intelligence and your emotions. And Suze, you and I have had this conversation is that, you know, as women, we so naturally sort of flow into taking care of other people. It's just so innate in the way that we're designed. And so we do that very naturally for our family, and we do that for our clients, and we do that for our customers. But when it comes to being a professional woman and investing in ourselves, it's not something we prioritize as much, right? We'll invest in our education, we'll invest in marketing and having a beautiful website, all of the things. But our own emotional, our own self-development, that sometimes falls last on the list. And so I'm here to kind of talk from that perspective and help you guys really start to understand how important it is to prioritize your emotions in reaching your goals and being the kind of entrepreneur or businesswoman that you're looking to be. So we're both just going to kind of talk from our different lenses as we have our discussion today, and just kind of share with you guys, like, from our own perspective, what does this look like from our clients, from people that we meet? And, you know, the good news is that it's all so fixable. It's also with skills and with just a little bit of willing to invest in yourself. I think confidence is something that's totally achievable. It's also at the center of what holds us back a lot of times. I was reading the other day, it's one of the biggest predictors of our success, our confidence and how we feel about ourselves and how strongly we believe that we can achieve our goals. So,
right. Well, that's so true. Thank you for explaining to the emotional intelligence. I think that's something that is maybe people have heard of. They're not really sure what does that mean exactly, and how does that affect, my professionalism, whatever. So,
yeah, our emotional intelligence is so deeply connected to our success. Even over the last 15 years, there's been a ton of research on how our ability to cope with our own emotions and regulate our emotions directly impacts how successful we are. I mean, big companies invest millions and millions of dollars into this. Our own government, our armed forces, and big companies like Amazon and Whole Foods, they all have the resources to invest in helping build their clients' emotional intelligence. And so this is a skill that I want to bring to solopreneurs or women entrepreneurs or successful women that don't have access to all that.
Yeah. That sounds great. I know we were going to talk a little bit more about some of the challenges that we know that are, these are common challenges that we have.
Suze, I was wondering, like, what do you see in terms of the women that you work with professionally when they lack sort of the functioning wardrobe, or they lack that visual piece and their confidence as it relates to that? What do you see?
Well, it shows up for them in a myriad of ways. And there are so many components that add in, but everybody seems to have a lot of similarity too, in that this cultural sort of melting pot that we're in. If you consider how your outward appearance makes you feel, that really goes to the heart of it. And that effect also that that it has for you in your showing up, but also the fact that it has on others, how they're viewing you. So there really is a two-sided aspect to this particular issue. So if you think about too, how much you spend on the time and the money it takes for you to get, yourself ready every day. How much of your time are you spent, in a rush? Things don't fit, or you just can't put the outfit, you kind of know it's not right. And you end up with things on the floor that you have to clean up later. And then certainly there's the shopping issue. I mean, not knowing, you may go to the mall thinking, I know I need something, not quite sure what it is. You end up buying what's on the mannequin, you just wear it that way, and you get bored with it. So there are a lot of components that add in to how this affects how we show up on brand. And what that means is, especially right now with working from home, we're doing a lot of virtual calls. So we have limited resources. We don't have the environmental component and the energetic of being with somebody live to have that relationship building component. It's flat, we're virtual. So how we portray ourselves on screen is going to contribute to whether or not that potential client, or say potential boss, or just a colleague, or someone who might be referring you, you may not feel your power because you don't really, you're not feeling the image. You're thinking, oh God, what's up with my arms? Or why didn't I put on some makeup? Or you're kind of like distracted. And so you're not necessarily going to show up as your best self and as the expert that you know you are, and ask for the business, ask for what it is, that charge what you're worth, right? Or ask for the promotion, or those kinds of goals that you have for yourself. So one of the survey questions I thought was really fascinating, that there was a question about whether or not you go off screen for virtual calls because you're upset about the way you look, or you're not sure about the background. Is it too messy? Or, maybe you haven't thought of that. You just don't want to be on screen. And there was 35% of the respondents said that they turned video off. And I think what you're giving up there is opportunity. You're leaving something on the table without being able to make a connection with eyeballs, right? As we know from social media, that our posts that have us in them, that show our features and our eyes, they get more engagement. And it's like, why is that? Why do people want to see me? They want to see you. They want to connect with you. And that's where that trust comes from. And they know they can hire you and you'll get the job done. So that's what it is to, you know, show up with confidence. If you don't look the part and feel the part, then you'll fail to make those connections. So
I totally relate to everything that you're saying. I think now, especially since we've gone through this big change in the way that we work and the way that we run our businesses, that, you know, that personal component is eliminated, you know, and it is very visual. I mean, it's unrealistic to say that we don't judge other people by our appearance, because we do. But now being on a screen, the way that you show up, your energy, your enthusiasm, you know, your presence is totally eliminated. Like you said, right. I found myself struggling with that too. You know, when we all locked down, we shut down our offices. And so I was working from home, and we have an office, but that's my husband's office. And so he was working in our office, and I had a little makeshift corner of our bedroom that, you know, just, it wasn't my space. I wasn't comfortable in it. And so every opportunity that I had not to be on camera, I took that, because for me, that was a sense of comfort. But absolutely, I hear what you're saying, that you do leave something on the table when you're trying to connect with people, because it's hard enough to do it over a screen. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. And just one last thing on that subject, and I want to find out a little bit more about your clients. But part of the thing that, you know, women also feel bad. They're like, well, you know, I should be able to wear my own clothes. It's kind of like if you have an eating disorder and you have to eat every day, you know, that how do you do it? You know, and there are some things that are kind of stacked against us, if you want to say, like the American apparel industry does not have sizing standards. Well, they have them, but they don't use them. A lot of manufacturers don't use them. So, or they're all over the place. I'm three different sizes in 3 different, you know, companies. And even within those particular manufacturers, I could be different sizes. So it makes it very difficult to find stuff that's going to fit you, fit your silhouette and your body shape. And having an understanding of your body shape is what is key to that too. But so there's that. And then also just the way we shop and the way that clothes are presented to us as separates. We end up having a lot of like, oh, well, that's cute, I'll buy it. Oh, the sales lady said it looked great, buy it. You get home, you're like, now what do I do? So this is part of what is setting us up, that we don't have a functioning wardrobe that is made, you know, unless we take the time, right, to create outfits with our own stuff. So anyway, it's solvable. That's what you have me for.
And you're totally speaking my language. Like, that's me 100%. You know, I'm at the store and I'm like, that's cute. That's really cute. That's really cute. And then I get home and I have a bunch of really cute separate things, but no idea how to start putting those together. Or I'm like majorly lacking a lot of really like, I don't know what you call them, just like basic kind of pieces, like a white tank top, or, you know, those kinds of things. So,
and it's frustrating, especially during lockdown.
So frustrating.
We couldn't shop. And even now you have to shop with a mask, and it's a little harder to, you know, to wrangle with that. But
totally.
But we'll get more into some solutions. I wanted to hear a little bit about how this might be showing up for women professionally when they lack confidence for some of your clients, Val. Like, what's that like?
Well, I mean, I touched a little bit about how foundational our confidence is in everything that we do. But, you know, the truth is, like, being a professional woman, being an entrepreneur, it's vulnerable, right? It's vulnerable to be that kind of woman, because we are trying to succeed, but that requires a lot of consistently pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. Right? We're always doing things that are, we're always doing things that are pushing, you know, we're asking things of other people. We're asking people for their time and their attention and their money and their resources, you know, and for a lot of women, that's not something that we're comfortable doing, right? Especially, you know, I find a lot that, you know, women are really good at what they do. Like, they're experts at what they do. And I want to share a story about one of my former clients, but they're experts at what they do, but they just, they don't have the confidence to be able to ask for what they deserve in their business or in their career. And so what some of these things look like, you know, we're in order to grow our business, we network, right? That's a lot of meeting people, connecting with people, forming deep relationships with people, so you can get that know, like, and trust factor, so that you can get a promotion or make a sale or generate some business, or, you know, meet a really excellent power partner. And so we're constantly doing networking. You know, we are resolving issues in our business, which bring us out of our comfort zone. Sometimes we have unhappy customers. Sometimes we have unhappy clients. You know, there are moments in our businesses where we have to practice being assertive. You know, we have to practice saying no, which I think for a lot of women is really challenging, because we want to grow, we want to achieve, or it might be that type A personality that you're kind of a go-getter and you're saying yes to everything. But, you know, sometimes when we lack confidence, that's a signal of that, right?
Like saying no to when someone asks you for a discount, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one to say no to.
That's, talk about uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. It's hard because you want to be liked. Or at least I know me, that's part of my thing, is I want to be liked. So if I say, oh, you can have a discount, they might not like me, but this is all subconscious, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys, that it's really about our beliefs. And here's the formula. It's your beliefs create your emotions, which ultimately create your action. So if we're talking about confidence being the belief in yourself, right? If you maybe struggle with confidence or have some negative beliefs about yourself, that's going to feel bad emotionally, right? And so if you're somebody that, you know, maybe doesn't feel, let's say, comfortable in her clothes or comfortable in her body, right? Somebody that maybe struggles a little bit with body image, you know, of course, it's going to create self-doubt. It's going to create some anxiety. And picture yourself showing up to a networking event feeling that way. I mean, how likely are you going to be able to set yourself up to do the things that are required to make connections with people? How likely are you to approach somebody and say, hey, I'm Val, this is what I do, this is who I help? You know, how likely are you to make a positive impression on other people, like you were saying, Suze? And so that's the way that it shows up, right? Our belief in ourselves ultimately has an impact on the choices that we make for our business and the actions that we take professionally. So we stay small when we lack confidence.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that discomfort of growth, of pushing ourselves, of getting away from the wallflower and wearing all black, and going out and wearing color and wearing, you know, something that's bright and bold, and showing up and being that person in the room that everyone wants to talk to, you know?
Yes. If you guys know, I'm sure you guys can relate to that person when you know, maybe walk into a networking event or something like that, that person that looks charismatic, that, you know, is wearing something very attractive, very powerful. Their personality attracts other people. You know, you're like, oh, who's she? Like, what's she got going on? You know, I want to meet her. So I think that's the power of kind of the combination of the things that we're talking about, right? Like choosing visually to feel good on the outside, but also doing some of the inner work that's required to show up authentically, show up as yourself, and have the belief that you belong in that networking event, right?
You're gonna kill it, right?
Totally. I wanted to share with you guys really quickly just an example of what this looks like. So
why don't you tell me about when a client of yours or someone that has gone through this, you know, sort of metamorphosis of lacking confidence, and then what was the result?
It's transformational. I mean, this stuff is totally fixable, but it is a marathon and not a sprint, because we're talking about emotions, right? I'm going to share with you guys some valuable tips of things that you can start working on today, but just know that this is sort of a work in progress. But I have a client she's a scientist, and she's actually very successful, extremely knowledgeable, intelligent woman. She's on the forefront of, you know, all the medical procedures that they're researching right now around the pandemics. And she is somebody that came to me completely unfulfilled with everything that she does. I mean, on paper, she just looked like she's very successful, you know, made a lot of money, but ultimately, you know, she wasn't fulfilled with her job. She didn't feel like she was a part of her team, like in her corporation, right? She was resentful to her employees because she was constantly working overtime. She was saying yes to everybody. Her relationships weren't deep. She had a ton of social anxiety about participating in some of these events that would bring her closer to her peers. And so we started working together, and I shared with her some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys today, but, you know, really helped her understand what are your beliefs about yourself and how do those show up in the actions that you're not taking. You know, she was avoiding all that stuff, right? Because it was already uncomfortable. She was avoiding all of it. We worked through it for a little bit, you know, probably 3 or 4 months. And what really helped her was she took action, right? She knew the things that made her feel uncomfortable. She took action on those. And in therapy, we call that a corrective experience. But the goal is to push yourself, right? To prove to yourself that the negative thing that you believe about yourself is untrue. Ultimately. And so her results are amazing. You know, a few months ago, she shared with me that she walked up to her boss and she asked him if she could have the free office space that had a beautiful view and perfect light. And he said yes. Awesome. And that's something that's something that she never would have asked for before.
She wouldn't have done. Yeah.
Yeah. She's got boundaries. She's saying no, she's not working overtime. And she's even reconsidering working for this corporation because she's got the confidence to say now, you know what, I don't think this is a good fit for me. Right. You know, I think this aligns with where I want my profession to go. And so really awesome example of just how easily you can start to create that shift and have these totally different experiences.
Right. And then achieve more financially.
Of course.
Early, and then also with her improving her just home life and maybe things like too. So
what about you, Suze? What do you see in terms of like how fixable and how changeable some of these things can be?
How we can manifest this stuff. I have a good story about a client of mine who is in the IT space and training in management, and she's just kind of climbing the corporate ladder, and she had her eye on a couple different other positions outside of her company. She wanted to get to that C-suite, so to be in a directorship, and she was totally ready. She's just, she's achieving at work, but yet she knew just comparing and looking, like she would look around to see if there was a mentor, someone that she could emulate with their style, and she really wasn't finding anything, but she knew that what she had going on was still a little bit junior. So these were older suits that didn't represent her. She didn't know exactly why. She tried to shop a little bit, but was afraid of misusing what funds that she had available for clothes. We worked together for a series of months where each month we got together and did something. The first month we started out in her closet, and we basically applied, I have a 3-step system where we evaluate, we edit, and then we create. And then sometimes there's add. An add can be a few things like some accessories or some basics, or it could be, okay, we're going to eventually replace most of the things that you have here in your closet, which was part of the situation with her. So that ability to have me as her clothing coach, if you will, to get her to the other side of where she wanted to be, just gave her that support that whole entire time. She had access to me. We would make outfits. We use her bed as a mannequin, and we would start with a hero piece. Okay, what's something that actually is really good for your body shape? Well, this V-neck top with the orange collar, it's bright colored, be nice and bright in a meeting. Let's start with that. Okay, what goes with it? Well, let's see, do you have any white pants? Oh yeah, I have a pair of white pants. And so we would build the outfit, and then including, the shoes, the jewelry, even the outerwear and the handbags. And then we would take photos of all of these outfits that she had her own lookbook that she could scroll through Sunday night and figure out, look at her schedule, what meetings are coming up, what job interviews are coming up, what am I going to wear? We made outfits just for job interviews. And she put them into her album on her iPad. And so she was fully prepared for these events. If there was something that was missing, like, if you just had, a navy blue fitted blazer, which is one of my, top 10s that everybody has to have. If you have one of those, that would tie this together and add that, blah, blah, blah. So we made a list for her. So when she was shopping on her own, or when we shopped together, we knew exactly what she needed. So we weren't going to waste our time and money resources by buying things she didn't need. And that's another variable that happens to, creep in for folks that are, men and women, but mostly women, I do think tend to buy things that are on sale, or maybe somebody gave you something and you feel this, like the commitment to it. Like, oh, I can't get rid of it. It was really expensive. And so it sits in your closet and takes up valuable space, and it makes you feel bad every time you see it because you're not wearing it. You don't know how. So that's really what we did for her, was we removed what wasn't serving her and what wasn't serving her goal of getting that directorship. And then we made the outfits that we knew would present her in her style aesthetic that she was comfortable in. And we went through a series of Pinterest boards and things to get an idea of what her aesthetic was. We even came up with a little mantra, 3 words that described her style. So she did get that job, and this was about 1.5 years ago, and she's making a lot more money and really loves her team, loves her job. And it's just a huge success story. And she's a great referral base for me because she had such a great experience, and we continue to work together still, just to do like a maintenance kind of a thing. And
Suze, like what I find so valuable about what you're saying is the organization, the organization piece, right? The fact that you have a plan, like you helped her create like this style book that she can sit down on Sunday and feel like she has an idea of what she's going to wear and feel comfortable and feel confident. Like, to me, I think like being a woman that's an entrepreneur that has a family, that I really value having that balance, being prepared and having a plan set out like that is so attractive to hear, because I think that's what a lot of us are lacking when we need that balance.
Yeah. We can't be experts in everything, and that's why, we each have our own expertise. If I have a cavity, I'm not going to try to drill it myself. I'm going to go see a dentist.
Totally.
So, so how are we doing here? We mentioned earlier, if any of you guys popped on, that we were unable to see comments. However, my IT guy, my amazing husband, Joe, who's helped us set this up, he actually found a way for us to look at the comments. However, I'm not seeing anything outside of great idea. So that was good. This is a service I could use. Good information came from Shirley. Love that idea and the photos. Thanks. So actually there's nothing more pressing, but I'm able to pop in and see some of these comments. So that's good. But you guys definitely put them in the Facebook comments, and anything that we're not able to get to, we want to for sure get back to you on. And then you can also DM us too, if it's a long-winded question or whatever. So
feel free to drop any comments or questions. We can definitely take some time to address those later on. I'm happy to do that for sure. How are we doing on time? Are we ready to kind of into let's move into sort of what are the takeaways? What are the things that we could share with women that they can start working on the outer appearance to build confidence, and then some of the internal things too to start that journey, so you guys just can package yourself for total success. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready. Okay. Do you want to go first, or you want me to answer, or what do you think?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have some strategies for you guys, and 2 words to keep in mind, and then I'll kind of go into a little bit more detail, but awareness and preparedness. Okay, so.
Oh my gosh, just time out for a second. We are the same person. I just have to say that.
Is that what your answer is too?
You'll see.
Yay! Okay, so I think once you have had a chance to absorb some of Val's, dynamo advice, and you can apply them then, but having that awareness that you do need to do something is the first key that shows that you really are ready to take that next step. Preparedness is then the how, right? So it's kind of the why and the how. But what I can help you learn how to do is to create the outcome and the result of what you're trying to achieve by having a wardrobe that is polished and that it represents your style, your brand, and also how you live your life. So your lifestyle, right? So for example, my brand, I'm very visual, obviously, because of my business. This is what I do. I don't even go to the grocery store or the library without taking a check in the mirror, making sure I put on a little bit of makeup and I wear something bright and colorful, because I do run into people all the time. We are always prospecting. Okay, you guys, even if you don't feel like you're in sales, you are. Okay, wherever we go, we're prospecting. We're going to run into potential clients and referral basis everywhere. So taking a few moments just to put on a little bit of lipstick, and maybe instead of wearing your dirty running shoes, you put on a pair of flip-flops. Even if you're still wearing your workout clothes, just the flip-flops and the lipstick. Well, that's preparedness, right? So taking that little bit of time. But understanding a few other concepts are integral. And this is why I wrote the books, because I wanted to give women around the world via a digital book, which you can download for $4.49. I always say it's cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, some resources with step-by-step suggestions that you can do based on your body type and your body shape, and what is the fit and the silhouette of the clothing that you need to find that's going to feel and look good on you. It's going to be flattering, and you're going to know it. You're going to feel that way. That's where the confidence in the clothing comes from, and you know that you look good, right? And that's what's going to show up to dress to impress, right? And then the other thing is considering, again, I've mentioned this several times, but how you spend your time. So if you're searching for things, you need things, and you also, so you're bringing things in. So how you bring things into your closet and how you bring things out, those are key too, to being prepared. Because if you have a closet full of clothes that you can't even get your hand in there just to even see what you have, you won't know what you have. You'll forget what you have. So it's curating. It's being confident, removing something from your closet that does not represent your brand. It is not going to make you feel good about yourself. And that can be really challenging. I have troubles doing that. It's something to do with our materialistic culture. And I don't mean materialistic in being shallow, which is another component, but that's usually the way the word is used. I mean material in that people and being in a place where you're a physical body, as opposed to, what else am I? I'm part of a collective of a spiritual world. And do I need to have clothes in my closet that I'm not wearing that someone else could wear? It would make me feel really good if I could donate to a women's shelter or a place that helps women get back on their feet when they're recovering from all sorts of maladies that could have befallen them, homelessness, addiction, abuse, those kinds of things. So I'm always doing clothing drives and thinking of ways that we can reach out and help our fellow sisters, right? So
awesome. That's amazing.
So those are some strategies, and then I can go into a little bit more about what tools exactly that I have created by providing content on my website. You can look at videos. I have a YouTube channel. You can look at videos, how to, and then certainly the books. And I have a course. So the course is called Pack with Purpose, which I made this course a year and a half ago about how to get ready for trips, because a lot of my clients just freaked out. They're like, oh my God, I overpack every time. I love this heavy suitcase around. I bring an extra suitcase just for shoes. I end up not even wearing half of them. What am I going to do? And they would hire me to come and pack them. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I sometimes overpack too. And I'm a stylist and I'm overpacking. So it's a course that I turned into a book. So you can also get that book once we are out of shutdown. But some of us are venturing out now into little trips that we can drive to, little getaways that taking the precautions and staying safe. And that is bringing up the anxiety again about packing. So
right.
Resources. Yeah.
I really connect with what you're saying about, going to the grocery store in your athleisure or, which really is my like mom uniform. Mm-hmm. But I've just been noticing myself lately, when this whole thing happened, I loved the idea of not wearing heels. Mm-hmm. I loved that I didn't have to wear shoes to work. I was just like, and then it started being like, okay, well, I don't have to wear heels, but like, maybe I don't have to like wear my tighter pants. Like maybe I could just wear a nice top and do my jewelry, and then I could just wear my yoga pants on the bottom because no one will ever see that.
Right.
You know, and then I started getting more and more and more casual in my approach. Like when I would do my meetings or when I'd meet with my clients, and then there'd be days where I'd be like, I could just like do the front of my hair. I don't have to do the back of my hair.
It's a slippery slope, Val.
It's exactly what I'm saying. And so like, I think us having had to stay home all this time, like people are getting real comfortable with like, the way that we look. And I think that you, to your point, like it is such a powerful way to feel good about yourself. It's such a powerful way to make an impression on other people that, you know, this is an opportunity, I think, for everyone to kind of make a commitment to yourself, right? I mean, who doesn't wake up and when you get dressed, when you shower, whether you wear makeup or not, you just feel better.
Yeah.
You know,
even just seeing yourself in the mirror, being at home. I noticed that if I had to get, you know, something done or prepare for something before I had a chance to, you know, quick shower and just a little bit of makeup and put on a bright color. That's one of my tips too. When you're on Zoom, wear bright colors, people. You know, just think about the environment and that people are looking at you and they're thinking about whether, they're not thinking, oh, what happened to her? What? They're distracted and they're not even listening to what you're saying because they're distracted by your image. So bright color, V-neck. V-neck looks good on everybody, women and men. And, you know, bright cobalt blue, this beautiful orange that we're wearing. This orange is actually part of my brand color. So that's one of the reasons why I looked hard and long for this top. It's from Diane von Furstenberg. And I got it on eBay, you guys. So I have all sorts of tricks and where you can find stuff. Because I didn't want to spend a lot, you know. So I've had to pivot, right? I'm not able to spend time with people in their closets right now. So my client base has shifted. But so I totally tangented off. But you were saying but there was a comment about tennis shoes that a couple of people said. Maria said, no running shoes when you're not running. I need to fix that. So true. If you're not working out, the running shoes. Yeah. I mean, if they are running shoes that you wear specifically for working out, they probably don't look that good because you're doing, you know, all sorts of things in them. You're climbing ropes and hopefully doing, you know, mountain climbers and all that stuff. So if you do look at the fashion trends, you know, they call it the ugly shoe is back, but bright, colorful, supportive soccer type shoes can be really, really chic and super comfortable. So there are some choices out there that make sense. But yeah, in general, not the ones that you wear in your garden and that you're.
So it's okay to wear gym shoes, just not the ones you exercise in.
Yeah. So you have to look for a pair that is, you know, cute and comfortable, and that is part of your shoe wardrobe, as opposed to used for athletics. Those are different. Yeah.
Good tip. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And let's see, we have some takeaways from you probably that you can help us some little things that we might be able to say to ourselves or to think about. One of the comments on the survey was what to say to myself right before I go in for a meeting or right before I go onto a Zoom call to kind of pump myself up a little bit if I'm not feeling as confident as I could.
Yes, I loved seeing that because that's going to be my giveaway to you all. And I'm going to get into that, but I wanted to sort of share 3 ways, sort of a 3-step process that I want you guys to consider if you're choosing to invest a little bit in building up your confidence, right? And again, keeping in mind, you know, it's not going to be a quick fix, right? I mean, we all want the quick fix, but the reality is that you really have to invest a little bit of time to start to create awareness around these things. And Suze, I was laughing so hard when you said awareness, because of course that's my first thing too, is awareness is 90% of the game, you guys. You know, you have to have awareness. Like, what are those beliefs that are creating these negative feelings about yourself that are ultimately impacting your actions? How do you really feel about yourself? you know, asking, yeah, I call this your inner mean girl, but you know, you all know what I'm talking about. You know, that voice in your head when you're in a place that, you know, you say very mean and nasty things to yourself, probably things you would never repeat to other people. Right. I mean, some things I've heard, like, you don't belong here. Who do you think you are to be here? You're not worth it. Nobody's going to want to buy your product. You know, you might as well stay home. You're unapproachable. Just all of these sort of things that we say to ourselves, that inner chatter that happens. My first recommendation would be to get in tune with that. Get as familiar as you can with what it sounds like when you talk to yourself, because when you do, that's your opportunity where you create space to change that dialogue. Right. To then replace it with something more positive, because let's go back to the formula. If you believe, if you have positive beliefs about yourself, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel confident. And then you're going to take confident action. Right. So that's kind of the first piece. You know, a way to do this is take a journal, you know, take a little piece of paper and start to recall some moments where you put yourself out of your comfort zone. What have you said? Those are the moments that you should pay a special attention to, because whenever we're uncomfortable is when that inner mean girl likes to show up. And really derail us from the things that we're trying to accomplish in our business and in our profession. So that's my number one, awareness. I say this to my clients, it's 90% of the game. If you have that, you're really, you're setting yourself up for success when it comes to just being emotionally more aware and building your emotional intelligence. The second thing I want to share with you guys is action. One of my partners her mom is really big into self-development. And she always used to say to us, the Din Club. Have you guys heard of that? Din Club stands for DIN. So do it now.
Ooh, I like do it now.
Right. So take action on the things that make you uncomfortable. And I shared about this a little bit ago, just a tiny bit, but you know, the things when you can have an experience where you do something hard and you do well, or you survive even, right? It's clear evidence to start building up that belief in yourself, right? And again, having the awareness, like, I did not want to go to that networking event. It was the last thing I wanted to do, but you know what? I showed up and I spoke to one person, and that's it. Like, if that's minimally it, using that experience where you pushed yourself, where you took action on your goals as evidence that, like, yeah, I can do hard things. We can do hard things, you know? And I think as human beings, a lot of times, like, we're very afraid of things that cause us discomfort. And while that's always going to be the case, we can tolerate discomfort, you know? And if you can learn to do that by taking action, then you're going to be closer and closer to the things that you want to achieve. And you're going to build your confidence over time, right? Which is ultimately going to be this deep core belief that you can accomplish the things that you set your mind to.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you said about that little voice, like our ego, or there's lots of different terms that can be used for, you know, our subconscious, you know, taking over and trying to keep us small and trying to keep us safe. And that's what, you know, our subconscious is really, I know you could tell me more because you're the expert, but what I've learned is that that's those fear-based, you know, resistance to taking that step, to being in the Din Club, right? Is just that little voice, that imposter syndrome, right? Saying, oh, who do you think you are? Like, nobody's going to want to see you again on Facebook Live. Come on. And then it just shuts you down. And then you're not out there connecting with your people. So Lindsay said something.
Is so big. I mean, and to tell all of you right now, people have imposter syndrome at every level, no matter where you are, whether you're just starting out your business or you are at the top of your game in your career. Imposter syndrome is something we all experience. And again, exactly to your point, Suze, it's our brain's innate responsibility to keep us safe. That's what our brain is designed for. So anytime we push out of that comfort zone, we will have responses to try to hold us back.
Yeah.
Right. The truth is there's nothing dangerous about stepping out of your comfort zone. And we know that ultimately it's what's required to, have the business that you want, be in the position that you want professionally. And so take action on the things that make you uncomfortable. And like my disclaimer about action is that, this is an opportunity where I think you should get support, like work with a coach, because sometimes we take action that's way too big. And that action can ultimately end up getting in our way, because if we jump too far, then it's so scary that we never ever want to do it again. So that has to be like really strategic in terms of like how we push ourselves into action. A book that I'll share with you guys, Mel Robbins has an entire book on this. It's called The 5-Second Rule. It's amazing. You can listen to it. It's all about really like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, taking action.
I've heard of it, but I definitely want to read it. Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah. It's lovely. It's very easy to listen to if you like use Audible or anything like that. She's super charismatic and just
cool.
Real great. And then the third thing, which I'll address the response in the survey, which is create an environment around yourself that is going to build your confidence. Like we're talking about investing in ourselves. Like this is the opportunity to like really be mindful about what kind of environment are you in, and what's the messaging that you expose yourself to on a daily basis. Who are you spending most of your time with, right? We're a result of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So what are you listening to? Podcasts? What are you reading? What are you watching on TV? Who are the people that you're spending time with? Those people should be people that feel good about themselves, that are confident, that show up and have a strong belief in themselves. People that we can trust to influence us in that direction if that's something that we're struggling with. So one of the most powerful ways to start to do that is, create the messaging to help build up your confidence is through affirmations. We've all heard of affirmations. I have affirmations glued to my entire bathroom. If I show you guys, it looks ridiculous, but half of my bathroom mirror is affirmations. Affirmations, there's been neuropsychological studies that have shown us that affirmations can literally rewire the neurons in your brain. So when it comes to thinking different thoughts and having different beliefs, you need to create those messages around you so you can be influenced to that. So my gift to everybody that's participating in the event is an affirmation that I created, that I use for my clients about confidence. And so it's pretty. Post it in your car, put it on your mirror, put it on your background on your phone, whatever you need to do to just kind of really set yourself up to be paying attention, to build yourself up on a daily basis. So to the person that I asked, what do I say to myself beyond just, oh, you can do it, you're awesome, you're great. Yes, that self-talk is very powerful, but also, looking long-term, listen to positive messaging that builds you up like that. Of course, say those really great things, but look at an affirmation. Pinterest is a wonderful, wonderful resource for affirmations. There are millions out there. So, and this stuff is totally fixable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, close invade the brain, speaking of research, and how you feel about yourself is directly related to your results. So I think we wanted to kind of start wrapping up a little bit and just thanking everybody for being on live with us. We do, there's a couple more comments. Lindsay had said, I love what she said. You don't feel it if you can't heal it. I love that.
Ooh, yes, Lindsay.
All right. Good job, Lindsay. Tony, let's see. Ritu said the Din Din Club. She liked that. And Tony Robbins says, watch your TV, transformational vocabulary, which really helps her catch her own self-talk. That's so good. I have a mastermind group that I work with. And after doing their practices for 2 years now, I have removed the words overwhelm and stress and disappointment from my vocabulary. And every once in a while, one might pop in, but I catch myself because that's the awareness part. But
it's so powerful. I mean, just language and the language that we use when we talk about ourselves again, awareness, listen up, because you'll be surprised with the terrible, nasty things you say to yourself sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
like you said, you wouldn't say that to anybody, even
Yeah.
someone that you didn't like, you probably wouldn't say it to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is a wonderful giveaway that you are providing, Val. I can't wait to have that and paste that up into a place where I can see it every day.
Yeah.
And I'm also doing a giveaway to you guys too. Everyone that signed up for our webinar today will be emailed this. If you guys didn't, we don't have your contact information, just put that into the comments. Or DM us if you don't want to have your URL on Facebook. I understand that, but let us know if you'd like to receive these things. Mine is a questionnaire I called Find Your Fabulous Style. And it's really just a way to go a little deeper to thinking about why you might have challenges of not wearing everything that's in your closet, or can't figure out, how to pair the clothes that you have more creatively and get more out of your investment. And it takes you a little bit deeper into some of the reasoning behind that, and just helps you understand a little bit more.
I love it.
And then we're both going to be we talked about, I also wanted to provide an option for someone who is really struggling. There was a couple of comments that already said that they're really ready for some change. That what I would like to do is offer a 30-minute style consult. It's complimentary, and I'm going to look at my schedule and see how many I can fit in. But depending on how many people raise their hands, I'll try to do as many as I can. A minimum, I think I can do 2 would be within the next few days, or a week after next week, because I'm going to be gone for a few days next week. But let me know, raise your hand again, private message me, or put in comments that you're interested in doing one of these calls, and I'll make sure and see how I can arrange that for you.
Yeah. I love that you're giving that away, because I would like to sign up.
All right, let's do it.
Because I totally need what you're offering. But I think that the free gifts that we're giving away are going to be able to serve everybody and hopefully provide value to all of you guys. For those of you that are really feeling like you're speaking my language, this is something I've known has been something I've been struggling with for a while. I'm ready to start taking action. I'm ready to start doing something a little bit different. I want to see how confidence could help me reach my goals. I actually have 2 1-hour strategy sessions that I can give away to women that really just want to talk about your unique situation and what you struggle with specifically, and talk through how some of these steps that I shared can apply directly to you in your business or you in your professional career. And so the way that you can sign up for those is through my website, www.thecenteredentrepreneur.com. You can schedule those. Again, I've got space for 2 hours for the rest of this month. So I just want to thank everybody, but I also want to thank Suze a lot, because this has been an awesome journey with you. And I love that we just, when you're meant to meet somebody, you just do. And that was just one of those things that felt really natural, and our collaboration has been amazing. So I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with you. And thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you, my darling. Namaste. I feel the same way. Val and I were teasing. I just was like, okay, I think we're separated at birth. We were twins separated at birth, because of the way we approach, the way we help people, and how we want to change the world. Right. And that was the one thing too, that I would say to myself if I ever felt small, is like, Suze, if you don't get out there and do the webinar, the speaking gig, or write another book, you can't help people feel better about themselves. And what's more important to me than my purpose is such, So yeah. Val's just been an amazing partner. I've already learned a ton from her just while organizing this. So you guys definitely take her up on her offer for the coaching call. Matter of fact, I want to do one. So if you guys don't, I'm totally going to do it. But super excited that you guys could join us. There was a lot of really good interaction here with comments. We'll definitely get back to comments on our Facebook pages, but definitely follow each other if you're not following both of us, to see about the next one and what we might do next. And we're just feeling very grateful to have this chance to be on live with you guys today.
Can I share a quote real quick before we end?
It won't end. We can go on if we want.
Oh, we just go on.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
Yeah, I want to be respectful of the hour to give people, but I can't recall who said this, but go confidently in the direction of your dreams. I feel like that fits really well right now.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody.
Have a great day.
Enjoy.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.